All right, here we are with Transformers: The Fellowship of Cybertron, Season 1, Episode 1. I am Devin, the referee. We are in February 2019, and to my left, we have X playing Y from Z Faction.
Nicole playing Breakout, who is a combiner made up of Smash and Grab. They are an Autobot, part of the Wreckers.
I'm Tyler. I'm playing Flutter, who is a member of the LVs, which is a nomadic neutral group of robots. Cybertronians.
Oh yeah, I guess we want to talk about playbooks.
Oh shit, playbooks, yeah. Cool.
My character is called the Pair.
Ta-da!
And I am the elf.
Kevin playing Necronom, the Spider playbook. He is part of the Xenomorph faction, and they are hostile towards the Decepticons, and that's their alignment.
And Peter's Multiplex. He's a Decepticon. He's a Titan. He's a giant playbook.
You're the giant.
Yep.
All right. So, I know, listeners, you've probably just listened to the intro where we've already covered this, but indulge us. Let's go around and describe your characters for the game. Who would like to start?
I guess I'll go first.
All right, cool. To the camera.
There's no camera.
To the camera.
There better not be a camera.
The mind camera, Nicole.
You can read my thoughts. So, Smash and Grab are both individually quite small. As a scale, normal Autobots are size 6. My character is size 4, which is around Cassetticon size.
So Rumble or Ravage.
Yes. Smash is a little stockier, more like a classic Cybertronian. Stockier, very blocky. Smash has more blue color scheme, mostly like darker blues with light blue like highlight bits. Their alt form is a two-wheeler. Grab is also Cassetticon size, a little more thin than stocky, but still blocky because they're Cybertronians. And Grab is more gold and yellow color scheme. When they combine together, Breakout has gold and blue color scheme.
All right. Perfect.
Also they both have the mouth thing. They don't have fucking Cybertronian lips.
They don't have pillowy articulated lips.
Yeah, no, they have those little
face plates.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you want to describe your guys?
Oh, also yes, I don't know their genders yet, guys.
Doesn't matter.
They're robots.
Cybertronians.
I have
Fuck.
Rip and Tear with me. They're both Turbo Foxes, which is a native species of Cybertron. They're not actually just Turbo Foxes though, they are fully cognizant people. Their alt forms are a sword and a gun, which my characters use. They're Turbo Foxes, which are spiky little robot-looking motherfuckers.
Angry robot foxes made of steel.
Yeah. They have more midnight blue and black color schemes with silver linings.
All right.
So Flutter is even smaller than Smash and Grab. Flutter is a size 3. He's a light, lanky figure in his Cybertronian form, but like most of his people, he spends most of his time in his alt form so that he can be airborne. And his alt form is a dragonfly quadcopter. He's got 4 wings, which are rigid metal with large rotors in them. He's also got a face grill. His paint scheme is a mixture of verdant green and brown. He's always accompanied by a hawk-shaped drone named Screech, and he is currently also chaperoned by an older LV named Smoke, who is a wasp-shaped transformer that has buzzsaw appendages.
A deconstruction drone.
Yes, a deconstruction drone.
Okay, Necronome is a size 6 transformer. He is kind of a dark purple-blue chitinous kind of texture to him. One of his arms is kind of coiled together like a tail. I should explain that his beast mode is a xenomorph.
Yeah,
like just straight up.
We're gonna throw this out. We're gonna throw one hot at you, listeners. His alt form is a goddamn machine xenomorph from a xenomorph planet, and at size 6, that puts you at
Normal Cybertronian size.
Yeah, which means you're like 5 times the size of a person. You're the size of a xenomorph queen from the movies.
Fuck.
Ish. Yeah.
So yeah, he's got the xenomorph tail. Even in his teaming mode, he's just also got one that's kind of coiled into an arm.
Like a manipulator tentacle.
Yeah. The head serves as his other arm.
The hand comes out of the extra, like, the second tongue in the xenomorph head, like, splits out to the hand.
Yeah, basically like
So,
that.
like, the whole xenomorph head's like an arm guard.
Yeah, and he's just kind of got a bestial look to him in general.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, a bestial, you say.
You don't say.
And his companion is just a swarm of facehugger-like mechanical creatures.
Oh god, they're like scraplets.
Yeah, actually.
Tiny little round scraplets with that same icky, resiny camo color.
Oh, fun. So, Multiplex, he's, a giant, so he's a size 11, Omega Supreme size. He is a refinery, a digger, and so on. So he's got all that on his body.
I think it was mobile truck refinery instead of digging.
I mean, both. I
Like,
guess.
you'd fill up with energon at one point, and then on the move, you'd like refine it and purify it. I think that's what we settled on, right?
Yeah.
A hauler.
Yeah, he's got like one digging arm for actually, excavating things as needed. He's got some smokestacks-esque things coming out of him, some sort of power coils and things. And he's rather old, weather looking, still, coming to him after everything that happened. So yeah, it's war-weary, I guess.
What's your color scheme?
Probably right now a little bit rusty and, got that purple insignia on...
On the fucking grill and his chest plate?
Yep.
Oh yeah, my character's Smash's Autobot symbol is like on a belt buckle type area, and grabs is the center of their chest.
Nice. The Autobot Decepticon shields.
Yeah.
Crests?
Shield. It's called a shield.
Okay.
Legit, that's just the name for it.
Sure.
Perfect. Okay, so Fellowship, we already talked about it in the intro, so we've already kept you up to date on that, listeners.
Overlord?
Pardon?
Overlord? You want...
No, he's not here, it's fine.
Sure.
We talked about it in the intro, remember? So, for the first session, Fellowship recommends doing one of 3 kind of setups for the game, and I chose and pitched to do a proper challenge that was one of the set pieces from the book. So, I don't know, I guess we won't tell you what the set piece is. You'll figure it out from inference if you know Fellowship.
So, set the scene, I guess.
I suppose I should. 1 minute. Alright. So, it is a day cycle on Cybertron. We'll come in onto the planet, big, large machine world, not really any lights on it anymore. Large kind of gaps on its surface that give way to like dark areas that are covered in like shifting, moving sand, which always seem to show up on the art for it, like these big patches of desiccation. And kind of zooming down in past decaying orbitals, a missing moon, another moon that has also gone dark, satellites and wreckage, and skyscrapers that have been toppled over and destroyed and demolitioned and just wrecked, speedways that have crumbled with like signs of battle and bodies strewn across them from millennia of war. The sand gets more prevalent as the kind of camera moves across the cityscape, and until it's buildings tall. This big, ever-present, rust-red, shifting metal sand. Flakes of damaged Cybertronian infrastructure just kind of sifting across from the winds that go across the planet's surface from its environment and weather system, which it has. Cybertron gets, wind and acid storms and stuff. The Fellowship, you four and your associated companions, are at the edge of a major off-ramp for one of the hyperways, these long, stretching highways that kind of gave people boosts when they used to drive across them and would let them move across the various infrastructures of Cybertron in their alt forms. Wheelers being the most common, so that's kind of what the city's acclimated for. This overpass kind of ends and is, just almost covered in sand because you're pretty high up, but the rust sea has moved up here. And there's a large, flat trawling vehicle, sort of personnel hauler. It sits on top of the rust sea and the sand and has various legs and rudders underneath that turn it up and push the entire vessel forward. It's a device that was made to kind of navigate the rust sea. Now the rust sea has encroached upon civilization and moved past the kind of wild zones into the ruins of your world. These have kind of been used again. It has a rudimentary energon reactor in it that required quite a bit of fuel to be scrounged up to even power to complete your journey. And it is crewed by the refugees that you've come across or shepherded from their old settlement. So these refugees are Cybertronians, mixes of Autobot, Decepticon soldiers, and, burnt down people who have kind of given up on the war. It's been quite a while since the Ark left and the last few skirmishes burned out. You don't really even hear gunfire anymore. You do hear it often, off in the distance in the city. If you kind of just stand still, you'll hear explosions or buildings collapse or the sound of a gunfight. But they're getting less frequent. The city's getting quieter. So these people that have got this trawler, they're going to cross this section of the Rust Sea, and they're heading to Titan's Last Stand, which is a community of survivors in this post-apocalyptic world, this truly post-apocalypse. After the fall, to try and outrun the degradation and the destruction. And this is your best way to get to where people are.
Okay.
So there's a mass of animals and small utility function. If functionalism were still a thing, disposable cast people like cassettes, data sticks, illumination tools, or whatever, all kind of scurrying about in robot mode, fixing up the trawler. There's a fair amount of soldiers, four-wheelers, two-wheelers, a flyer that doesn't seem to fly anymore. There's a fair collection of rank and file soldiers and civilians that are just, or no one's really a civilian on Cybertron anymore, so soldiers of different proficiency and caste. The three that matter the most are these following three: trick shot, half pipe, and oil spill.
Are those from?
No, don't.
Okay.
Don't pay attention to it.
Trick shot,
half pipe, and oil spill. Trickshot, his alt form is a sniper emplacement. He actually turns into a emplaced sort of targeting turret. He's a Decepticon. He has a shield. He has scar damage all over him. He has one eye. Not because it's missing, but because his head is a rectangular block with a single mono eye inside of it that glows blue.
well, I know why he joined the Decepticons.
They took away his face. For listeners in the know, for listeners who aren't in the know in the Cybertronian cult, it'll come up in game. It'll come up in game if people ask about his face, because some of you guys might not remember because time.
Well, I wasn't alive then.
Yeah, because time. There, Decepticons that don't have a face and have a mono eye are actually pretty common. Not super common among Autobots, but you get a few here and there. It's a weird style choice. Yes, he seems to be a sniper, or at least a long-range support soldier. That was his thing. Trick shot. Half-Pipe is a two-wheeler who, instead of having wheels, he has hover projectors, and he basically looks like a futuristic skateboard someone else would ride. He's about cassette-sized. His Autobot symbol is actually the kind of wraparound on the skateboard on the bottom, like it's like cool art stuff that looks really weird when he's in robot mode.
Sorry, what shield?
Autobot. He seems to be a scout / scavenger because he's fast and can get into small places other ones can't, where it's dangerous and fragile. And Oil Spill is another Autobot. It's on his front grille. He is a he was an energon tanker, not multiplex sized. He's like the size of your standard like big rig, but he doesn't have a back end anymore. He's lost it, so he's just like the big rig part. But Cybertronian and advanced. He's all like black and red. And yeah, his grill is where his shield is and stuff. And he just looks like he's just a frontlines guy. Anyway, these three have basically taken charge of the refugees as a group and have been kind of coordinating getting the rust skimmer out of here. You got about 50, 60 people. So I'm going to knock the spotlight around, and who wants to take it first to talk about what they're doing and what they're up to?
Well, I'm definitely out ahead with Screech. We're both flying out low over the sands, scouting things out, checking out what's going on, relaying transmissions back and forth to each other.
Getting a daisy chain going?
Yeah.
Yeah. The sea looks calm. The sands kind of shift and move. The sky is overcast because the sky burned, during the war. But it's a little clearer today. Eerily calm. Usually you get kind of wind blowing in from like burning refineries or the munitions plants that have since gone up. But there's an eerie calm to the sea today. Okay.
Well, I guess Multiplex helping out with loading up the ship probably brought some of his own energon to power this holder and have been moving some other important pieces of tech onto it, and then trying to get onto himself. So, like,
You probably fit. You probably aren't going to fit on this thing. You're too big.
well, I guess I'll have to walk behind it.
Yeah, like Cybertron itself is underneath the Sea of Rust. It's not like all degraded, so like you can kind of feel out with your feet and put your hands in and stuff and kind of just guide yourself along on the highways and the buildings to not fall deep into the deep end.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that will be fun. Well,
And look up any picture of someone, like out in the tropics swimming, and like if it's a top down, there's like a giant hole that goes straight, the drop off.
Except we can't see inside of it because
I guess
Yeah.
I guess I'll take some large chimney, just like
You just
load
rip
it,
off.
so I'll have some stick to poke ahead.
It's really the danger, right? You're poking, it's like, okay, there's a gap here. If I put my foot down, maybe it's just a little bit below, or maybe it goes down forever to the bottom floor of the planet.
Yep.
And I'll be gone.
So, yeah.
So yeah, you like rip some girdering off of the old freeways and stuff to like get a poking stick.
Yep, that's me.
Okay.
Necronome's actually setting up depth charges, like remote control ones that will follow the ship and protect us from,
With like little like helicopter fins that kind of spin to like move it through the sand.
Yeah, he's kind of crafting those from his kind of chitin generator that's on. It's built into him.
That resin stuff you're able to
Secrete.
manufacture would be the word we would use, Peter.
He's kind
Things
of
don't secrete on Cybertron.
he's kind of rolling it around with his thumb and like jabbing in the proper like mechanical pieces to make it a whole.
Little engines, little like transmissions and stuff.
Yeah, this would actually be a move because Spider's all about having to prepare ahead of time for really anything. So
Tell us about it.
it's basically the basic ability for any spider called web spinning. And when you're preparing an area for ambush, you roll sense. On a 10+, you get webs, and webs are basically your trap supply.
So, roll.
Excellent.
6, 7, 8. All right. So I get 1 web to prepare.
Perfect.
So I'm going to set a.
Well, you don't have to tell us.
Okay.
Now.
Unless the move says so.
No, you spend web to choose one of those options.
Yeah.
So
there we
you
go.
hold one.
You have prepared the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have to get much deeper into it. And breakout.
I'm probably helping people, like organizing people, helping them get onto the things they need to get onto the evacuation thing.
Yeah, people are helping, they're guiding, they're making sure no one gets lost. The smaller forms, like the disposables, they're as people just they don't really like saying it, but it's just an easy way. They're a little more skittish. They tend to get lost if you don't corral them. Mostly because a lifetime of staying away from the larger Cybertronians, not be used as tools, taught them well.
See, if you didn't skitter about, you'd be dead by now. So.
Skitter about or get goddamn crushed under a tank tread.
So, natural selection.
The way you originally described it sounded very much worse than the way you were actually trying to describe it.
They're nervous people.
Yeah, well, I'm about their size, so, there's that.
Well, are you breakout right now?
No.
Okay.
I have 4 people. I'm going to use that to my advantage.
Yeah, a lot of these people think they have CR sickness.
What's that?
So, Cybertronians, when they need to repair, they either just, go to a hospital or a MASH station, a mobile ambulance. If they can't get to that, they are often put into CR chambers, like cybernetic respirators, which are pods that kind of use brute force energon radiation treatment to emulsify them in energon and patch them up. It's not great. It repairs surface wounds and keeps them together, but it doesn't allow the interior to properly fix itself. So a lot of them look a lot of them look a little run down, worn around the edges, kind of brittle looking. There's amputees here and people with exposed joints and exposed wiring on various parts, armor that's been blown apart.
Is this contagious?
No, it's something you go from using from a CR chamber over and over instead of actually getting real treatment.
Yep. So it's a condition of the disease.
Yeah, it's not a disease, it's a medical problem.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not a lot of doctors anymore. They were on the front lines. Wielding guns. Okay. Well, with those highlights done, Trickshot heads to the crow's nest they've set up. The sniper tower they just naturally set up on this thing. Halfpipe and Oil Spill are manning the bridge and the engine room respectively. And ready to take off. As that's happening, you guys are kind of left on the ship to your own devices as the wheels start turning and the kind of screwdrivers, like the screw, coils, basically start moving it through the sand. So, this, hilariously enough, would be a moment for you guys to just talk to each other.
Since it just seems like a bit of an endless doom, I'm going to leave Screech out ahead to continue scouting. And I'm going to go over to where Multiplex is, and I'm going to use my sensors to kind of ping through the sand and figure out safe spots for him to...
Radar?
Yeah, for him to stand so he doesn't plunge into the abyss.
Yeah, your internal radar you have just built inside of you lets you visualize it in your mind's eye. It shows the sort of black and white layout and topography and where these have you ever played Subnautica?
No.
Okay, well, yeah, you can see these deep dives down that are just all around you guys. You're on basically a highway stretch and its foundations that you're kind of tiptoeing walking across, a multi-layered highway that's been buried that you're basically walking through using as a guardrail and just going, but on one side it just goes right down to the city proper, which is several stories.
Yep. Well, Multiplex is walking along, following Flutter's advice and talking his stick, just to make sure everything's still mobile and as it's trudging along. The big thing is...
Okay.
What's the place that we're heading to?
Titan's the
Titan's Last Stand.
Titan's Last Stand.
So have you been to Titan's Last Stand before?
Well, from what I hear, that's built around Metroplex. I used to know him way back, but I haven't seen him since. Oh, it's been a couple of tens of millions of years now, I think. How about yourself? Have you been there?
No, I've never been.
Mm.
I haven't been too many places outside of home.
Mm. Well, it's a big world out there. I wonder how much of it is left to explore.
Bigger for some of us than others.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. As you two are walking and surveying the area in front of the crawler, there's a weird wind on the horizon. It's sour, like it's coming in, and everything feels odd about it. Like the temperature and the pressure, and the air pressure is just changing.
So
Could be trouble.
Oh. I guess we can try to look closely, scout, or like look.
You feel it before you see it.
Yeah.
Off in kind of the distance in the deeper end of the Sea of Rust, where some of the old ruins of the autocracy cities were, there was a fairly large explosion, not world-ending, that goes off among some of the buildings, and you can see just at the horizon something in the sky moving by, which you've all come to recognize as the ship. And it looks like it's dropped something, and there's an explosion in the buildings, and it sends a shockwave all the way out that you can feel it here, from miles away.
I better go check it out.
Yeah, I guess I better stay close to the ship in case there's a wave coming.
Yeah, like you can feel like these waves of impact washing over the sand barge, kicking up into a sandstorm.
I'm going to activate my camouflage.
All right. For reference, the ship in the sky is far away. Like it's suborbital.
Okay. And I'm going to fly over to where the explosion is.
Okay. That also is maybe an hour's flight away.
Okay. I'll go maybe half an hour towards it and kind of stay abreast of the main convoy and see if I can see anything from here.
Okay. Half hour in, it looks like. Did you know you knew about this place? Like you lived here, right? You're not fairly new or young.
I'm pretty young.
You're pretty young.
Yeah.
Old city. Part of the old like empire that used to be here. You don't really know the significance of it just off the bat, but large, dome stadium buildings that just collapsed and burst inward. And they're on fire. There's plasma everywhere, molten steel. You can see it from where you are. You can kind of sense it. The smell of burning metal.
I'll give it a quick scan. Is there anything moving?
Over there,
Yeah.
no. But off of where you are, yes. Like your radar is starting to pick up a shape. Something big under the sea.
Where is it headed?
Towards you and the barge.
Okay. I'm going to fly back and relay that information to everyone else.
All right.
Guys,
so
there's something big coming towards us. It's
So
moving
what were
through
you
the sand.
two when this is coming in? What were you two up to?
Taking inventory of supplies, most likely.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't really require anything. Where are you going?
Sure. So yeah, you got a message in from Flutter.
All right. Man, battle stations, everyone. I'm gonna snap at trick shot. You should probably get up there and do your thing.
Do my thing. He starts grabbing on, climbing up. He only has one arm. The other arm's is the gun part. So he's just kind of climbing up there.
With one arm, that's surprising.
They didn't leave him with anything. He took an arm. He starts clambering up. Eye in the sky.
And, yeah, I guess I'll just go up to the outside of the ship basically and get ready to shoot something. Gonna combine.
You're gonna combine. Oh yeah. Breakout's on the scene. Is Breakout different from the other two? Like, do they have like a different personality?
Yeah, more.
More filled with power.
Yeah, more gregarious.
Gregarious, good word. Okay. Yeah, you're all getting ready, and all of a sudden the Barjon is rocked by a wave. So it is sandstorming. The waves are choppy. It's getting dark as sandstorm clouds are all around you. It's bad weather.
We don't see anything though, right?
You can see the sand shifting, going up and down in big dives. Multiplex?
Yes.
You're almost certain something slithered by your legs.
Rust moving. So can I roll some look closely, sense, so that I try to...
Well, no. That's not what
Sure.
it is. You say what you're doing, and you figure out what you want from it, and you assign a move that gets you what you want. There's no looking at your
Sure.
sheet for rolls.
Sure. Well, I can't really, search around all that much. Everything's under rust, and I can't really see much there. So maybe I'll get closer to the barge and I'll try to stabilize it.
Alright, you roll onto the barge to keep it steady.
Yep.
Okay?
That's, I guess, my stronger than is reasonable. I'm using my giant strength to hold it down, I guess.
Yeah, people aren't going overboard, that's for sure.
Yep.
Okay. Alright. Necronom.
Okay. So, can I get a glimpse of any motion underneath the boat, or?
Yeah, you can definitely see things are moving under it. Sometimes you get the glimpse of metal.
All right, I'm going to pull out my radar that's tracking where the depth charges are,
Okay?
and I'm going to activate them when. Oh wait, I can't do that until it makes a movie. So never mind. For now, I'm just going to try to track it, from one side of the boat to the other.
Alright, you're going to track where it is. And Flutter, you're on your way back. Let's say you're going to be back.
Okay.
I'm just going to... Alright, so as you're all preparing for some sort of conflict, it kind of happens all at once. This large pseudopod made of machinery and metal, gears and pistons, sweeps up out of the sea of rust faster than you'd expect something that big would be able to move, and wraps itself around the crow's nest, and it's the end of the pseudopod grabs Half-Pipe.
Shit.
And it's starting to twist and flex, and it's starting to crack the crow's nest. Another one comes out of the water near where Multiplex is, and it looks like it's a little more sturdier and thicker. It's a bludgeon, and it's moving around, it's gathering up momentum, like a morning star on like a flail on a chain.
Yep.
That is the problems coming your way right now.
So, question actually, because it doesn't really explain in the book, but the traps are specifically escape route, you can get away and whatnot. Could I activate that for other people, you think, or?
Oh, well, let's take a look at it. To get familiar with it all. One moment. Alright, we're back. We just read how getaway works and spider traps and hope and all that stuff. Necronom.
So that tentacle that's grabbing Half-Pipe, a bunch of small little beads are embedded in the tentacle that's wrapped around Half-Pipe, and they start to light up and beep. And they were a bunch of small explosives stuffed into one of those death charges.
The morass of resin and webbing you make.
Yeah, so those all detonate simultaneously.
Alright. So you are doing a getaway move.
Yep.
And because you're using your trap, you get to roll with hope, which is 3d6, takes the best.
So I get away with 10 plus.
Okay, lets you choose 2 from that list.
Okay, so I grab someone nearby and bring them along with me. and get there quickly, avoiding any harm along the way.
All right, the pseudopod's superstructure, like its chassis, blows open, leaving twisted metal and like spinning flywheels going out of it. When I breathed in air. I was using my hands to gesticulate and I knocked one loose. Half-Pipe is free from its grasp as it kind of pulls back, and you're able to get him out of there before it's able to crush anyone. Mm-hmm. It cracks the crow's nest, but the pseudopod, retreats away from there. Who's next? Who wants to do something now?
I'm just gonna shoot at it.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah. Like I was gonna jump on the actual tentacle, but it retreated, so I can't. So I'm gonna shoot it.
Alright. Alright, so you just take out your blaster rifle, and you're shooting at the damaged one or the flail?
I mean, the flail, I don't want to smash a ship in half. So yeah, I grab whichever one it is. I grab tear and aim and fire at that giant ass thing.
Alright, straight forward. So, move wise, this would probably overcome. No. Let me pause. We're still learning, listeners. This is the process. Okay, we're back. So, we reread how advantage works and finishing them and all that kind of stuff goes down. So Nicole, our Breakout, is rolling to keep them busy with his weapon systems. He's going to be shooting to distract the Crusher pseudopod to stop it from smashing up Multiplex. You got a 9, which is you're keeping them busy for a short time, and they're going to attack you after this.
So I'm
looking back.
Yeah.
I would like to rephrase that so that Terra is actually the one that's keeping them busy because they get it as if they got a 10+.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that work? Do they get to roll?
It says this dog can keep them busy as if it got a 10+.
I guess it's because it's geared.
It's a move, yeah.
But you have to damage its stat to do
Yeah, so now you damage that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So noted down that it's damaged, so it needs to recover. So like I know it dives in.
Well, no, you shoot it and deplete his energy.
Oh,
He can keep him busy. He's like ferociously firing from his like mouth cannon.
sure.
I imagine it's like a wolf mouth where the cannon comes out of.
So while that's happening,
So you keep them busy. You buy as much time as you need, and their attention is all on you right now. So you have created an advantage on the pseudopod.
Yeah. So since they're focusing on the smart folks / the ship, I would like to prevent them from doing damage to it. So just go behind them and start wrestling their giant tentacles to overcome them so they wouldn't be able to harm anyone. So I rolled with blood, I rolled a 13, so I stopped the obstacle, threat cut, and move from causing harm.
Perfect. So yeah, this thing was looking like it was lining itself up to like smash the ship and try to crush Breakout. When you come up behind it, just grab that thing and wrangle it back and hold it down.
Don't hurt my friends.
Do we see the body of this thing yet, or is it just
It's under the water.
pseudopods?
Under the sea of rust.
Okay.
So, who's up now? The tentacle is being grappled. The other one is retreating into the sand ocean, and you can see other ones starting to rise up.
So, this thing has come and it's attacking refugees and my friends, and it's clearly a threat. So I'm going to declare it as my nemesis and etch it into my mind.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hover down onto the deck of the ship and line up a perfect shot onto the pseudopod and charge up my high-powered laser rifle and try and take it out.
All right. Which one, the smasher or the grabber?
Smasher's been damaged, right?
No, none of them have been damaged yet.
Oh, not even with him blowing
Like,
it up.
That was to release its grasp.
Yeah. Which one has the advantage on? Because I guess you want to...
I
Smasher
have
has
advantage
advantage.
because I am...
Exactly.
hit.
So you want to hit the other one, because we have advantage this one, and you create advantage with the other one.
So shoot the grabber?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to shoot the grabber.
Okay, so you're going to finish them.
Yeah.
So what are you rolling with?
Grace.
Ah.
And I have hope. Because it is my nemesis. So
All right.
I get 12, which
Ooh.
finishes it off.
You destroy them. Does your weapon use ammo?
Yes, it does.
Mark down ammo. You have lost ammo on it.
So,
And since it was destroyed, I remain hidden.
so describe how it went down. How you destroyed them.
So I powered up my laser rifle, and because I'm so small and nimble, I moved in towards where its articulating joints were, and then I just shot straight through it and blew the whole thing off.
Nice.
Yep, fuel line, an energon line inside of it ruptures, and the whole thing just goes up in blue-purple flames. The whole area around here kind of shifts and turns. The other ones that are coming to grab kind of retreat down while the Smasher's still struggling with you.
And then I immediately hover to the side so that it doesn't know what location I'm in.
All right, what's next? You got the Smasher here. The boat is rocking. You can see kind of like what looks like chitin segmented legs are holding onto the bottom of it and are trying to like. It looks like they're trying to like hug it down.
I'm going to try and scan it for any structural weaknesses or anything in the database.
In the legs?
Yeah, the grasper, whatever's up above the...
Because we already have advantage on the one above from
There's two
Nicole.
above. Well, he's
Nope.
dead now, but
Yeah. So we have advantage of that already. So if you want to finish them,
Oh yeah, might as well.
Okay, so your plan is to take advantage of your Titan distracting the Smasher.
Yep.
Okay, how are you doing that?
So he's going to charge up his one hand, the head. He's going to run in and like inject it into the grasper and inject resin throughout all its servos. and
Hyper
whatnot.
caustic resin.
Yeah.
All right.
roll.
Overpowering them. So this is probably with blood.
Oh, one sec.
Sure.
I have a specific move for overpowering.
Oh, cool. Why don't we pause and look at that? All right, we're back. So, Necronome, you run up and smash into that tentacle and inject it with your caustic, what was it, silicon-based acid compounds?
Yep.
All right, that blows several things out of that grasping tentacle, and its superstructure collapses and sinks into the water. You damaged it with Overcome and therefore destroyed it, because it only has one stat, being a grasping tentacle. So, do you let go of this thing while it's smoking with acid, Multi-Titan?
you killed the grasper.
Yeah, sure.
I forgot
Smasher. I used the wrong word. Nicole.
Okay.
I used the
I
wrong
was
word.
just like really fucking confused.
There's one tentacle everyone is fighting, the big guy. Alright, you let go. It sinks into the ocean. Or the Sea of Rust.
Yeah.
The tides change, everything roils, and around the ship and around you, rising up, is a large crab-shaped thing. It's made of rusted metal. There's holes in it. You can see moving servos and engines, kind of like, almost diesel-powered engines running all through it, giving off gases and exhaust. Large crab with like an open face covered in optics, where these kind of segmented tendrils were coming from, and on either side of it, those grasping legs. The Kraken has risen. You're in phase 2. It's making a roaring sound. There's like scorch marks on the back of its shell too, and it has cracks in it. So, how do you want to deal with this? Because shit's about to get real.
Do we recognize it as something that had a function, or is this something newly created?
This thing looks old, and it looks like it might be part of the fauna.
What do you mean by part of the fauna?
Well, ever since the war kind of turned Cybertron bad and strange, it stopped producing energon, and without energon, things can't survive. So the leading theory for a lot of the weird fauna that's been showing up is that they've been living deep underground in like areas of the planet that were producing energon that they were kind of subsisting off of for long periods of time, and those sources have been cut off. So now things are surfacing looking for food.
Because Cybertron does have animals.
Cybertron is an
Robot
ecosystem.
animals.
So this looks like it's some sort of super predator.
Likely woken up by the ship up above.
Yeah.
Orbital bombardment.
Some asshole was bombing it.
How dare
Makes
they?
sense.
Yeah, this thing's leaking energon too. Like, from this break in its crab shell and from like the tendrils, it's just oozing out.
Oh.
Or leaking out. Things don't ooze.
Well, I guess it's a threat to the ship. I'd like to, grab it with my giant arms and just keep it from, snapping at people. So I want to overcome
Crab
it.
battle!
Yeah, just wrestle it.
Okay. What are you going to do with the wrestler? What do you want to do with this?
Overcome so it doesn't harm anyone.
Sure, try. Because it looks like it's interested in this ship.
So, I rolled a 9. I guess I'll create a temporary solution for this.
What's your solution? A full Nelson?
I guess I'll take this stick I brought with me and just jam it in its mouth.
Nice.
Alright. It's making that it's making that whooping sound bigger and more reverberating that you kind of hear Decepticons make.
Alright, guys, we gotta kill this thing.
Yeah, it's you put a stick in its mouth like in those movies, and it's trying to bite down on it, and it's bending and stuff.
This won't last for long.
People are shooting at it. Like, again, the entire ship is making that Transformers laser sound as multicolored red and blue lasers are shooting at it, making smoke appear. Everyone just fire at once, blindly. Yeah. Alright, who's next? You have a temporary reprieve before this thing starts making things bad.
To be clear, does that mean we have advantage?
No, do not have advantage.
Just like, I prevented it from dealing damage attacking, so.
Peter has temporarily prevented me from making a super hard cut against you guys.
Yep.
As the Overlord, I have access to cuts, things that allow me to change the fiction and make your guys' lives miserable. I have soft cuts and hard cuts. And this Kraken can make hard cuts on you.
Yep.
Are there any pieces of land around, like, kind of floating in the sea?
They're the top. What kind of pieces of land would you be interested in?
Things I can perch upon. I'm trying to get around behind the creature to scan the wounds on its back for structural weaknesses.
Okay, sure. How about the top of a skyscraper?
Yeah, that
Would you be
works.
interested in that?
Yeah.
Alright, old skyscraper, it has a top area, it's fairly big, as all things are on Cybertron. It's a land made for giants, which you all are, and are aware of, because you've met other life forms in the galaxy, in your recorded history, and shit be small outside of you guys.
It's so small and cute, Xenomorph pet.
You guys are gods among the galaxy. But yes, skyscraper perch.
Alright, he's going to shift into beast mode. And he's going to leap along, making that horrible screeching sound that
Oh, God.
he makes in that mode, to get around behind it and scan
The new traumatizing sound you make.
Yes.
Alright, and that's probably, from what I'm
Inferring?
inferring here, is look closely.
Yep.
Alright, with sense.
Okay. And you're only rolling with hope when you're working with someone else to do these things, right?
That's right, you're going alone right now.
Unless your specific playbook has something weird.
So cool.
8. So I can ask 2 questions.
Alright.
Is something hidden or out of place? If so, will it look suspicious?
Is something hidden or out of place? Yeah, it's changing its internals to keep a series of engine array clusters kind of under its protective shell. Like it's trying to shift inside its coat, but the rust has gotten to it, and oh, you see them.
Oh.
Your little dead little eyes zoom in. There is. Have you ever seen what happens when crabs give birth? Like when the eggs hatch, there are these like sea of little tiny red things.
Unfortunately, yes.
Those are inside its wounds, but they're not eggs. It's scraplets.
I was gonna go into me, but
For reference to the uninitiated, scraplets are the equivalent of picking up cancer / picking up a venereal disease. They're tiny little microscopic Cybertronian life forms that feast on Cybertronian metal. So not the buildings, because that's different. That's just normal metal. Specifically your bodies.
it's like crabs.
Yeah, it's like having crabs / having like cancer or flesh-eating disease.
Whale lice.
Yeah, it's half that, and it's half treated as a macro virus. You know, a virus are single-celled organisms. It's a macro single-celled organism. They look adorable. Little round spheres made of metal with buzzsaw teeth and big expressive eyes and little tiny stubby arms. And this thing is swarmed with thousands of them. And it's eating away at its shell. They're not making a lot of progress right now because it takes time and there's a lot of them. But this thing is agitated as shit.
Scraplets. Don't let it get any closer to the ship. And,
Some people start screaming. One of them is oil. What's the oil spill?
Oil spill?
Oil spill. Yeah, he starts screaming like, "No! No!"
inspiring.
It's an appropriate response.
Okay, tell me about the scraplets. What are they doing and what will they do now? Or I guess that's already been kind of explained.
Yeah.
So it's... Tell me about the engines that are shifting inside of it. Like,
It's clearly part of its. Those look like it's biology. But that looks like it is. It's biology. Its main sort of kind of energon converters. Like its spark case is somewhere probably in there. If this thing has a spark, which it probably doesn't. It's fine.
But
Doesn't
like,
have a
to be
soul.
clear, is it trying to hide it because it's already damaged?
Yeah. It's a giant enemy crab. Shoot the weak point for massive damage.
a lot of its weak points appear to be on its back. We can get around here and launch a full offensive.
Woo!
Well, if this thing's got scraplets, it needs to be stopped. I'm gonna hover around to the back, line myself up with one of its weak points, and take a shot at it.
Ah, because you can fly.
Yeah.
And you have advantage.
How long does advantage last?
Until you use it, or until it doesn't become relevant to the fiction anymore. So his advantage is the crab can't see it.
Or like you also lose it, like, oh, if you try to finish it and fail completely, you
It'll
lose
get
it.
wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I finish it and fail, I lose my camouflage.
Yeah.
You short out your cloaking circuits.
Nine plus grace, 11.
Holy shit.
That's
Okay, so
destroy.
11 means you destroy them. Which essentially means, yeah, your cloak field stays secure. You don't break you don't short the circuitry because it's like a closed, energy circuit, and you're able to fire in a round into there and just melt through that engine. Is that what you're up to?
Yep.
All right. It screams as the energon that's been leaking out of it into the scraplets, and the scraplets ignite, causing fire coming out of its shell. It breaks away from Multiplex and sinks into the sea. There's like flames gouting out from the sea that are kind of like being smothered by it. Alright, so the Leviathan. Okay, second, only damage for taking out.
I assume because it's destroyed, the advantage when it exists, that thing's destroyed.
Pardon me?
I assume because it got destroyed, the advantage is gone because that part got destroyed.
Yeah.
What did you want to use it for?
To attack it.
It's dead, so you... Yeah.
It's not dead.
No.
It has a series of stats that you have to damage to take it out.
Shooting?
Pardon?
Not sure.
Yeah. So you took out its eye, which means that it sinks into the briny depths. And no one was on top of it, right?
Nope.
Thank
Nope.
God, because that would have been a nightmare. It doesn't go well if you're on top of it.
Why couldn't you?
Well, if you're on top of it, you get hit with the overboard stat. And it's a nightmare. If you're overboard too long, you get lost at sea, and it becomes this whole thing where you have to be found on a deserted island.
Fun.
Alright. It sinks down because you shot it in its heart. What's happening now is those tendrils are coming up, and one of them, that hasn't been damaged, is starting to grab the ship and try to rock it. So you guys can't shoot it while it's underwater.
Yeah.
You should teleport, right?
That's right, it's above water. What's going on, guys? This thing looks like it's going to try and flip you guys off the ship.
I'm gonna try to wait for someone to create advantage so I can attack it.
An opening? You need an opening, right?
I'm gonna move in, and I'm still stealth, What I'm going to do is I'm going to start pinging my body up against it in various places so that it's getting hit by like phantom attacks, and it doesn't understand what's going on and gets preoccupied with that.
Okay. What move is that?
I'm going to try and keep it busy.
All right, go for that.
Eight.
All right, you're going to be busy for a short while, but then your time is up.
Yeah, we'll retire later against you.
So I respond in turn. Okay. Perfect. You're pinging it and slamming into it. Now that the nest has been disturbed, out of the like seams and out of like the veins inside of this thing's, energon veins and muscle motors, they're coming out. Scraplets. So as you're pinging them and knocking them loose, they're getting on top of your cloaking field, and I'm going to suggest they short it.
Okay.
Or you can have scraplets on you that get past the field.
I will take shorting out the field.
All right, your bug zapper zaps them. Luckily, you were wearing protection at the time. All right, so a few of those guys, kind of just fall onto you and fizzle and fall into the sea of rust, never to be seen again, and your cloaking field goes off.
Okay.
Who else is up?
So we have advantage?
No.
Okay.
She does because I'm keeping it busy.
Oh shit, keeping busy lets you create advantage. I'm sorry. I'm getting used to it all.
Yeah.
All right, it's distracted by him, by the little firefly.
Okay, in which case I'm going to break out my I'm gonna break out my harpoon gun and shoot the fucking kraken in its stupid tentacle. And then I'm going to run up the wire and start strapping it.
Metal?
Yeah.
What's that? What are you rolling with?
Blood, I'm assuming?
Yeah, alright. Go for it.
It doesn't really... All my combat skills are the same, so it doesn't really
Yeah, but it does matter. It's the story of it.
2d6, right?
Yep.
Does this count as working together?
Yeah, sounds like it does.
And we have a bond.
We don't, actually.
Really?
I was going to have a bond with you, and then I was trying to make a bond with other people, and now I don't know what's up.
I have a bond with you.
Yeah, just...
Oh.
I think we just keep your bonds, bud. We already established them last...
We established one bond last session, and then I tried to change it, and then it didn't work, so now I don't know what I'm doing, so we can wait till after the session to figure it out.
Alright.
Okay.
If he has a bond with me, does that mean anything?
I don't know.
Let's
I think it would only mean something when I'm doing something.
Okay.
When two or more people have bonds with each other.
Yeah, each other. There it is.
So I got an 8.
Okay, you damage the stat. If now I was keeping them busy, they aren't anymore. Okay. So you stabbed it?
Actually, my harpoon gun is what did the damage.
Oh, I thought...
Now I'm on it.
Okay, now you're on the tendril.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Kraken's tendril goes down. You destroy Return of the Tentacles, one of its stats. Okay, on the opposite side of the boat from where you, that tentacle goes underwater with you on it.
Oh, okay.
All right, you're under the sea of rust, holding on to this thing underwater. I hope you can hold your breath as it moves to the opposite side of the boat, away from the Metro Titan, and surfaces its back away from you all, and you're hanging onto its mouth because these are its mouth tentacles. Whoa! It's gotten rid of that pillar. There's still black, oily, like tar sands smoke coming out of its back shell.
So I guess, again, in order to prevent the damage to the people, maybe I'd go to the ship, pick it up, put it behind me, and stand between the Kraken and the ship.
Motherfucker.
Because I'm stronger than is reasonable.
Alright, so you just get up under there and brace yourself on the structure below. And is this a move you have to roll for, or is it just happening?
I mean, I want to do overcome.
Yeah, you're overcoming.
Something that's reasonably just think
changes the texture of the
yeah.
fiction for it. Right. I do know after this session I'm going to read up more on how cuts work, because I don't know if I'm using them enough. It's something I got to read up on. I'm not too worried right now, because it's, consequenceless.
Ooh, 4, 5, 6. So
my
so
God.
I guess I'll have to pay the price.
And this was
Overcome. Let's see.
Cool, I'm going to make a hard cut on you.
Cool.
Okay.
And also, since I'm larger than life, was it? No, since I am stronger than invisible, when I have to pay a price, is this paying the price or just cutting?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
let's see. I guess Overcome doesn't say that I pay the price. So no, it's just you doing the cut, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, let me pause really quick. Okay, we're back. So, Peter, because you got a 7 or 9, and actually all of you guys when this comes up, you have to pay a price. Which means you tell me what you've lost.
Every time we get a 7, 8, or 9?
Yeah.
No.
Because like
Yeah, it says under pay a price.
when move tells you to pay a price.
Okay. So, whenever a move tells you to roll 2 6-sided dice and add the bonuses by the move. So, every move that requires roll has 3 different outcomes. 10 plus, 7, 8, or 9, 6 less. If you resolve a 7, 8, or 9, usually written as 7 to 9, then you still succeed. But something usually goes wrong. You need to pay a price. Many moves will tell you what happened, but if they do not tell you, you may tell us the price you pay for success.
That's strange because like on Overcome you have 7 and 9, you choose one, and then you can also pay a price to get a 10 plus result.
I guess you would pay 2 prices.
Which is an actual thing in the rules, by the way, paying 2 prices.
Huh. Strange.
So, pay a price is a common move that...
Yep.
It's a special move?
Basic moves.
Yeah, basic move. Pay a price. So, pay a price. When a move tells you to pay a price, tell us what it costs you. A price you can pay can be in form of taking damage, losing some equipment, or using some equipment, or losing advantage, or suffering a setback of some kind. Whatever the cost, you must pay that price immediately before, during, or after the move you paid for.
Okay. So I guess I'll...
So you're gonna get what you want, but you have to pay for it.
I mean, will I get what I want?
What, did you get a 7?
No,
No,
I
he got a 6.
Yeah, I got...
Oh, right. Sorry, guys. I'm silly. Because there's different rules for that. On a 6, I make a cut. Alright, let me pause again while I look up cuts again. Alright, well, for my first hard cut of the game, because you fucked up and left your midsection exposed lifting up the boat, the Kraken lashes out with a tentacle, and you see it happen because you're right in its maw. One of its back tentacles lashes out, and it hits you right in the goddamn solar plexus, right in the spark cage. Oh. I'm damaging your blood stat.
Sure thing.
It hits him hard, reels him back as he's like, trying to put the ship down. You see his chest cavity cave in a bit, and energon leak out.
Oh god.
Good thing you're immortal.
Yeah. This move would snap all of you in half, but...
Oh yeah, you have to put the ship down still in front of the Kraken.
Yeah, I didn't succeed, so I just...
You exposed your midsection in front of a predator.
Yeah, so I just crumble back in half, and it goes back to where it was.
Oh. Alright, who's next? Who wants to do, there's no, turnover, but who wants to do something to stop this Kraken?
I'm gonna try to communicate with the other Transformers on the ship and try to convince them to, is there a lot of little places to get around behind the opponents? Still,
not for the people on the ship, because they would have to get onto a structure somewhere. They're on the ship, and the ship it's in front of them, so they can't
they can't move around it.
No.
Oh, it wouldn't be possible.
Oh no, they can. You just gotta tell me how you can get them around there.
I'm trying to convince them basically to start moving while it's distracted. Basically trying to command them to do something.
Move the ship, I guess.
Full
speed ahead.
Yeah, okay, they'll try. The weather's a real pain. So...
Yeah, I'm trying to talk them through it, basically, to convince them to take that risk.
Yeah, they'll be up for that. Okay, I gotta talk that through it, because...
Speak softly, probably.
Talk sense.
Or talk sense.
Yeah, what is this?
I was trying to do talk sense.
Talk sense? Okay, let me take a look real quick.
Trying to appeal to their desire to not, die.
Yeah. Ask someone for help. Instead of dying, you rolling on a 9. 9, you owe them a favor. What? On a 7 plus, they do the ask. On a 9 and below, you owe them a favor. So on a 10, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Let me pause. Okay, so how this is going to work, because listeners, the storm itself is a stat that needs to be damaged. We're going to burn the ship a bit. It's going to take damage as the crew kind of, puts the ship in danger, despite the fact you've been protecting it, to try and drive itself away from this kraken, or at least flank.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll give you advantage on the weather to try and kind of rally them to kind of push through the storm and go with the grain. So you have to finish them the storm with sense.
Okay, so just talk sense this time around, though?
No, this is finish them.
Oh, okay.
You burned the ship for advantage. The ship is vulnerable now.
Oh, wait. Only 2 dice.
Also, isn't the ship a person?
The ship has stats. But it's not. Oh, no, it's not a human being. No, it's not a transformer. It's just something they scavenge together. It doesn't have a soul.
Not everything's a transformer, Nicole.
I mean, most fucking
Yeah.
vehicles are.
Most things are, not this one.
10.
Okay, yeah,
Destroy.
you destroy the bad weather stat, and the crew kind of rallies together under you, and is running with the storm and stuff. So they're able to now kind of not have the storm be in the way for either trying to escape or maneuver. So they're able to maneuver around the Kraken, away from its crushing stuff. It'll have to be a bit more aggressive. All right. Who else wants to do something here?
I'm going to reboot my damaged systems and then fire them back up and go invisible again.
You do that with magic?
Yep, because I have Elder Might.
Aha! All right, well, you do that. Cloaking field on. You're on top of this monster, Nicole, or breakout.
Yep.
You need to do something, or this thing might kill you.
Yeah, I was hoping for advantage.
Go try get away.
I don't want to get away. I want to kill it.
What about trying to examine it for a weakness?
Yes.
Because if you look closely, you give yourself advantage on it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
Pretty
so
sure the gaping wound and oil on his back is a weakness that I can just light on fire with my gun. But yeah.
figure it out if it is.
Alright, I'll roll with grace, considering sense and wisdom are -1 for this character.
Look closely as sense.
What?
The move look closely
Oh,
as
sorry,
sense.
I was looking at talk sense for some reason. Oh, okay. Well, alright, I guess I'll do that. That's a 9.
That's good. So you can ask 2 questions from the look closely list.
And then I have to pay a price?
You pay a price.
I guess, is something hidden or out of place? If so, what looks suspicious? That sounds like the thing that tells me what its weakness.
All of them do that. All of them can potentially do that. So, out of place or suspicious, when it's maws opening up, Nicole, right
I'm
here.
listening.
When it's maws opening up, there's a series of composite bladders inside of it that are allowing it to float among the sand sea.
I'm gonna jump in its fucking mouth and stab it.
Okay, what's your price you're paying though for immediately for sensing, like for analyzing?
Right.
You want to take damage?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, pick one of your stats to damage. When you roll with that stat, you roll it with
Despair.
despair.
Can I pick sense because this is really dumb? Or wisdom? 'cause it's
Yeah,
really
whatever
dumb?
you want. You get to choose.
Okay. A D there for damage.
Okay, so you see the inside of its mouth is its vulnerable part because the skin's softer on the inside of its chassis. Its armor plating is softer on the inside of the armor plating of the chassis of it.
Well,
Yes.
it is. Like, I don't like, yes, it is. If a human is wearing armor, and yes, it is actually squishier on the inside of the armor.
The armor is its skin.
It's just for its
It
not.
is made of
I know,
armor.
it's funny, Nicole. It's a 2-inch thick plate of steel, and it's like, I can't hurt it on this side, but if I go on the inside, like you stick the knife in, and like the steel goes like jello, and you're like, gotcha, bastard. It's funny, it's funny.
I mean, it could be just like an egg, like, you know, from outside there
could
is
just be like an
forces,
egg,
from
but it's a robot.
inside.
Except for fucking either. You just said it has vulnerable.
I know, I did. I'm just...
Floaters.
Yeah, I'm just
Roll? Something?
Okay, so Breakout is jumping inside the monster's maw. That's definitely not ideal. Anyone want to jump in here?
Is that the last stuff we need to damage?
I'm not going to tell you that. Fuck you.
Are they still beneath the sand?
No, it's surfaced right now.
I guess I could try overcoming it again. It's only its mouth open.
Yeah, because all those tendrils and like crushers are like going inside its mouth to grab the thing that just fell inside.
Yeah. So I guess I'll use my regeneration ability to heal my blood stat, so my auto repair whatever parts just come online and patch me back up.
Your cybernucleic regeneration system kicks in and starts buffing out the dents.
Yep.
Emergency baffles and titanic seals kick in to stop the energon from leaking out of your blood supplies.
Yep.
What?
So yeah, then I do overcome to try to prevent damage to whatever's coming Breakout's way. And I roll a 9. So I guess it created a temporary solution. So I don't know, I
You
take
temporarily hold its mouth open.
yeah, it's like, oh, very strong, and I guess I need to pay the price.
Yeah, what's the price you're paying, buddy?
I guess I'm gonna say that this is straining my servos, whatever, so they're breaking, so the regeneration system is kicking back in. So I'm losing this item by keeping myself repaired as I'm holding it. I know it's gears grinding against my hands and so on. So I'm buffing back in. So I'm going to lose the item regeneration.
So your regeneration is just gone. Well, how many uses did you get out of it?
2.
So you lose your other use of regeneration.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's another offshoot, using an item. So you have to overclock your old muscles and stuff.
Yep.
All right, so you see this, by the way. Your large robot titan friend is holding the mouth open for you, so its tentacles don't go in to like digest you. And yeah, he's like steaming from all his joints and stuff. Like there's like fires starting on him. He's so old and worn
Looks
down.
really badass though.
Right? It's a really cool day for you all.
Giant fucking robot
See,
kraken, and me jumping into its mouth to stab it.
Black clouds everywhere and sandstorms.
if I get to finish them, I could always use my feats of legend to do something really awesome. But you're doing that, so
Wear
go
it
ahead.
like a head.
Take it and eat it across the horizon.
Okay, finish this thing before it kills Multiplex. It's coming for you.
Oh no.
It's gonna drink your blood.
My precious energy of blood.
Yeah, once
Oh hey, I get one moment. I think I get something for acting like a fucking jackass.
Sure.
You're asking with your agenda, I guess?
No, Daring Devils.
Ah.
Sure, I'll pause. We're back. What'd you get?
4. 5, 6.
I got a 5.
Okay. So in that case, I make a hard cut.
Would my overcome prevent that? Or not?
No. It was going to kill Nicole. It was going to kill Breakout, and you stopped it.
Okay.
So you're going in to slash at those baffles, and instead you hit a bunch of muscle tissue and stuff that snaps from connecting tendons. and a bunch of counterweights and starts shifting inside of it, and it starts changing. You see like old pieces of machinery fall out of like stuck areas that's been like jammed up in for years.
So are you saying I just helped heal it instead of...
You knocked loose scar tissue inside its T-cog.
Oh, so now it can transform is what you're saying.
Yeah, you knocked loose its T-cog damage. It has scar tissue on it. So yeah, you can see it in the engines actually. Like it's large like energon pump engines. Energon, like old syrupy energon, is flowing out of it into veins and conduits that haven't been used in millennia, pouring out like from holes and like slices in it, but they're going into more parts of it. And you hear that telltale sound that all things make when they change, including buildings and stuff. That mouth, Peter, that you're holding open,
Yep.
or multiplex, it opens wider and wider and wider and fans out more as the engine inside has metal wrap around it and starts tessellating and spinning and coming out as it turns into a sort of cannon and shoots you.
Oh my.
You're taking damage, hard cut. What's your best stat?
Blood and courage.
It's gonna shoot you in your courage. In the face.
What about me?
What about you?
Well, I'm inside of the cannon, so...
No, like you're not in the cannon path because it was building and going outward. You're still inside of it, but you're just not in the cannon barrel. So you two on the boat, it has an alternate weapon, an artillery weapon, and it just fragged Multiplex. Like his face is burning, you can see metal melting off of him, one of his eyes is sealing up. His optics.
See, one of you needs to create a
Trick Shots goes, oh, I know what that is.
Do tell.
Don't be mad.
I'm never mad.
That's one of our warp cannons. We used it to try and blow the ark out of the sky, stop y'all from leaving. One of them went feral.
Huh.
He doesn't know him. They're both wearing Decepticon shields.
He's general you to the red and white and blue guys out there.
Does it have a weak point?
The holes all over its armor plating and its the energy barrier. The energy cores aren't really good.
Okay, I'm gonna hover over to an energy core,
The big engine you guys have been shooting.
charge up my las cannon, and take a shot.
All right. Again, my bad. You can't be mad at me.
Nine.
Okay, and what are you doing? Like you're finishing it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you blast into the warp cannon, and it the whole thing seizes up and starts to sink into the sand again to get away. Well, not to get away, just to sink.
And the price I'm gonna pay is that I overcharge the shot, so I use an extra ammo.
Okay. All right, to let you guys know, the last thing you have to stop is its ability to. Where is it? God damn it! Sorry, guys.
Drag down.
The briny depths. You have to damage its briny depth stat, which is ability to submerge and surface, because that's what's saving it right now. You've taken care of everything else.
I guess if one of you could create an advantage there.
Oh yeah, so you're inside the beast while sand is flooding in, but there's webbing and grating that's stopping it. Like it's like a salt shaker where if you pour it too much, it all kind of bunches up. So the depths of the rust sea kind of stop around parts of you as you're going through under it. You're inside this thing, and its cannons out, the energy thing is there, it has its bladder system under its engine.
I'm going to use Eyes on Me, create a sudden and massive distraction that draws all eyes. It's a thing I have. So I'm going to open up a ground bridge inside of it, and it's probably going to freak out and need to deal with that.
Yeah, because it's trying to line its cannon to the underside of the ship.
So
I'm overcoming it or whatever.
Oh, okay. This is an overcome?
I don't know. It says create a sudden massive distraction that draws all eyes. Might be keep them busy, I guess.
I guess. Act as a distraction to buy some time. Yep. Pretty much.
Sure. I'm just trying to look at the move that this is, so I can just see it too, so we can be on the same page.
It's
Company secrets, eyes on me.
It doesn't really define it really.
No, that's fine. Yeah, massive distraction draws all eyes. Okay, it's no longer paying attention to the outside world because a Einstein-Newtonian wormhole just opened up inside of its heart. Its heart bladder? Okay, yeah, so you're just opening a ground bridge?
Yes.
Alright. Not going through it or anything?
Well, no, I can't. It's one of 3 options.
Alright. So yeah, a large disturbance in subspace opens up inside of it and starts freaking out and not aiming at the ship anymore right now.
Okay. So does this count as having an advantage over it?
It counts as it not about to take its cut to shoot you again. Nicole just saved your ass.
Because like keep them busy.
This isn't keep them busy.
Keep them busy.
It's a special move that I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just says create
Or I
a
guess it
sudden
might
and
be,
massive
like,
distraction. It doesn't.
It doesn't matter what move it is. The point is, it was going to make a move on you, like it was going to cut you. No, it's not.
You need an opening?
Yep.
I've taken a lot of pieces out of this thing. So I'm going to decloak and buzz around it and just fire like a lot of low-powered shots.
It's under the sand.
It's under the sand.
I mean, you have your like sonar things to see it.
Yeah.
So you can look closely to pinpoint it.
I'm going to decloak and try and draw it out because I think it's pissed off at me.
Okay. How are you going to draw it out?
I'm going to skim. I'm going to leave my flyer form and I'm going to run along the sand above it. And if it's got any kind of like surface
I know
or whatever, it'll pick up on that and it'll come for me. And because I can touch the world lightly, I won't sink through the sand while I do that.
Okay, keep them busy.
Is there a skyscraper nearby?
Yes. Or do you want there to be one?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to get you to like distract it over there, and I'm going to try to move around to the back to knock the skyscraper over.
Alright.
I got a 10 on my keep them busy.
Okay, you keep them busy and you get advantage on it. So you're inside this thing as like it's shifting around. Parts of its systems are cracking open. Fuel lines are blowing. And yeah, it chases you through the sand away from the ship up the skyscraper. Like it's ripping into it and dragging itself out of the sand.
All right,
So
Multiplex.
you're surfaced.
Make your move.
Okay,
Pick up the boat.
so since I have bonds with Flutter and Flutter has bonds with me, I guess I'm going to use that to roll with Hope and reach down into the waters, just grab it, and try to just pull it out using my feats of legend if I can roll finish them.
Do it.
Yeah.
What are you rolling with anyway?
Blood.
Blood!
I got an 11, so I destroy them. And
So how do you want to destroy this thing?
okay, so since I'm destroying them and I have feats of legend, I can add that onto destroying them for free. So I just pick them up, break them in half so that breakout just falls out of it, and I swing it around and just slam it, yeet it across far, far away.
All right, as you're doing that, yeah, one of your arms, your launch arm,
Yeah.
you let go with the other arm, and your launch arm, your pelvis spins all the way around 360 and just makes a snapping motion, and it goes much farther than it should have.
Yeah. Just flaming about into
Yeah.
the
It
horizon.
lands somewhere and detonates because it's a warp cannon.
So I fell out of it. Am I falling out onto a building?
Do you want to?
I mean, I'd rather not go into the endless abyss.
I mean, you can use your
Oh yeah.
thing to swing around and be all cool and shit.
Yeah, you have that thing. So what? Power lines, cabling, bits of its body you can skate across with your feet.
Yeah, as I fall out, I'm going to grab the end of it in its tentacles, spin around it, and fling myself so that I land on the ship.
All right.
Do a drop roll.
Cat-like grace. Okay, yeah, it dies. You guys end it. And no one got lost at sea.
Huzzah!
There's a whole rescue phase to this combat. Even after it's dead, you have to. There's waterlogging, gear damage, a survival montage, a rescue operation where one person has to captain the ship to save everyone. You have to survive on a deserted island. It's this whole thing.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Let me. Yeah, everyone's cheering. Like they're like, "Woo!" Pew, pew, pew,
Is everyone alright? I was like clutching my, I don't know, upper torso, like, oh, do a head count. We don't want anyone to be lost here.
Does everyone come up good? Does everyone come up?
Yeah.
Yep. Everyone's doing like a war chant.
So, how many of those did you build?
I mean, I didn't build any of them. We took them out of storage. They were armory.
I mean, collectively, but from the armory, yes, that would make sense that they would exist beforehand, of course.
Yeah, no, those are just suborbital warp cannons. We took them all out, earlier.
I suppose most
One
of
went
them.
feral. They're not alive.
Well, they're alive.
Well, that one's not anymore.
Yeah.
How many of them went feral? Was it just the one?
Yeah, there's something wrong with it. Turns out Bone Crusher had scraplets and was, hanging out in it. And then it got kind of irritated by them.
We should do a survey of the ship, make sure none got on board.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah. Oilspill walks out because he covered himself in petrol oil. And he was ready to light himself on fire to keep them away from him. None in the engine room. There's none in the engine room.
I'll fly around the outside of the hull and do a scan, make sure none are clinging there.
All right. So you guys all want to coordinate your efforts to making sure that you're scraplet free.
Yep. Everyone, do an STD check.
Yeah, do an STD check. Oh, pay the price.
I mean, I was inside of it.
Yeah. You didn't even have protection.
Yep.
I have no idea what moved out at the end of your guys' behalf to kind of like...
Look closely.
Probably.
Sure. Someone take point and roll look closely.
Who's got the best sense?
I do.
Okay, you roll with hope.
Xenomorph just crawls all around the ship.
Or it might also be overcome if you want to roll with sense.
Oh, I got 10 either way then.
Alright. So, by doing a thorough search, you do find some scraplet clusters, and you spend a bit of time and purge them all.
Perfect.
Everyone is cheering, but much more subdued.
Because that was a close one.
Yeah.
Do you think they purposely activated it? Kind of gestures up to the
warship?
suborbital ship.
Well, they were bombing something.
It seemed very purposeful. I wonder how advanced the scanners are up there. How many are still remaining?
Yeah, that's an ominous thought to kind of dwell on.
Yep.
Who knows what goes on in
What goes on in the madman's head?
Yes, who knows what dark thoughts go on in the sick mind of Mesothallus. It's Tranchus' name before he gave himself a much cooler name. Mesothulus.
That man is dead, etc., etc.
That man is dead. Your old college buddy.
Yeah. Definitely not him anymore.
Yeah. No, it's still him. You don't become like that if it wasn't always in you.
It's a very deterministic outlook.
People don't wake up one day and decide to, gestures to dead Cybertron.
Sometimes good men break.
Sometimes bad men pretend to be good. How do you feel?
It's a whole thing that I'm just reading up on now, actually.
You fill your belly. So between scenes, you can use a food to heal a point of damage.
So we're gonna do. All right, I'm just gonna pause real quick because we're just about to transition from the conflict scene to the long journey scene to get you to where you want to go. This is going to be between scenes, which means you may use your food to fill your belly to heal 1 damage. And if you share a meal with friends, 1 person may heal an extra point of damage. So I'm going to pause, we'll be able to figure that out. Okay, we're back, and we have read the long journey and how that works. So, to kick this off, I will begin. Do you want me to start with you, Nicole?
No.
Alright. Okay. So, you guys are taking the Sand Sailor and trying to make your way across this patch of the Sea of Rust, as we previously described before the Kraken attacked, or the feral warp cannon. So I will ask you, Flutter, what new friend did you make on the journey?
Along the way, I and Oil Spill became very close. Because Oil Spill has seen a lot, and they were very involved in the war, and they told me a whole bunch of really interesting stories that I lapped up because I'm just kind of a young transformer, and they liked having someone to listen to, so as a result we became very close.
Sure, write down notes about that in case it comes up again. Okay, so, boom, that happens.
Now, set up.
Yeah, and it could have been role played out if we wanted it to, but you know, it's later. We'll ease into it.
And along the way, we came across a slowly sinking wreck that was very interesting, but potentially also very hazardous. So, how did we deal with that?
Oh, asking me? Okay. I had some volunteers, kind of using the goodwill from us saving the ship, to kind of dash into the sinking ship and salvage whatever supplies we could before it was taken by the rust.
Okay.
Okay, so along the way we ran into a smaller ship of survivors, and they were very desperate for supplies to the point that they were getting hostile. So how did we handle that? Metroplex? No.
Multiplex.
Multiplex. That's the one.
Well, I guess, well, since our ship is bigger, then we decided to take them on, since we have a little bit of supplies to spare, and we're going to someplace safe, so we decided to scrap their boat and fall it back into what we had, the little band of brothers. And then we moved on, and we passed a district that used to be full of skyscrapers. They were jutting up from the sea in a magnificent way, just with the old splendor from the before times still somehow kept in there. And what happened there, Overlord?
Yeah.
Don't we have to end with the Overlord?
No. We have to end with you. So the Overlord will
Because you
pass on to
started.
Nicole, and then Nicole will pass on to you.
Okay.
And that completes the
Yeah.
circle.
So so he gets to go more than once?
No,
He resolves.
He
'Cause I
already
mean-
resolved something.
Yeah,
now.
no, we have to end with the Overlord. He
Yeah.
asked me, then I ask you, because you have to end it.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise he's solving 2 things, which doesn't...
I
If
guess.
that's what it's supposed to
I
be.
guess
then
normally
that's-
we should be like, Overlord gives us a frame. You're like,
The
oh,
first player to set a scene will be the last player to resolve a scene. So, since I set it to him, I must be going to resolve. So that was a really good setup you did.
Yeah.
But you have to set to Nicole.
yeah, like I guess next time will be like Overlord says the scene, like, oh, you're on a journey to across the sea. What happened? And
Yeah.
Isn't that what
That's
we
exactly what we
It is
did.
what we did, but
He said-
we drew around Nicole and accidentally left her out of the loop.
like he already set up something for.
No, yeah, I misinterpreted. what I
Okay,
meant.
so
if I kick it off next time, I end it next time. It goes
Yeah.
full circle.
That's exactly what we just did. He just has to ask me, and then I ask you, and then the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you find in those skyscrapers, Nicole? Oh, breakout.
Mm,
Or what interesting thing happened around it? Could be something else.
how about a data bank of like I don't know, records from before the war.
that's fine. That's good. All right, I'll set something up for me.
Alright. What was really dangerous about this part of the journey?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. The danger is that you've fallen right into where I am. So Tarantulas is in his ship, typing away with his little science hands, with his like fabricy material body. He is on a screen that is looking around this area that he's been bombing for the last little while, and the ruins you went into are actually pristine and preserved, as was described by Metro Titan, and that's where he was looking. What? Oh, I thought you were responding to me.
You keep getting his name wrong.
Multi-Titan.
Multiplex.
God damn you, Peter. This is Vedic Barile all over again.
I go by many names.
Tevin Burrell. You fucking bitch.
Barrel.
This is Queen Beryllium all over again. Anyway, he's on his screens cackling to himself like he does, because I can't do the cackle. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he observes Insecticons with Hardshell at the lead, down in those ruins where you got the database from after you have left, like after you've left and moved on, opening up a hatch underneath the ruins that tessellates the skyscrapers out of the way and puts them underground. So as you're leaving, you see the skyscrapers sink into the Sea of Rust ominously. Opening up a old hangar bay with a wrecked
Pre-war.
autocracy ship. Ooh. The Insecticons swarm on inside of it, looking.
Okay.
They don't take the weapons. They don't go for any of the materials inside. All they do is hook up a remote database tool into its computer system to give Tarantulas access. And he, on his screens, laughing, he's bringing up information about Cybertron's solar system.
Neat.
Soon. Specifically, if one were to look back at this episode from later episodes, to try and spot like foreshadowing, it's the kind of sweeps of the orbit of Cybertron and the inner solar system of like debris that's crashed into Cybertron. Like it's trying to track like space debris, like satellites, but not like machine satellites. Well, also machine satellites, but the word satellite.
Yep.
Stuff. Decaying orbits, crash sites.
I have a feeling this is one of Overlord's plans.
Oh no! He's looking for the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
That's fine.
Or maybe the wreck of the other moon.
I'm pretty sure the moon didn't crash in Cybertron.
Hmm?
Pretty sure the moon didn't crash on Cybertron.
Well,
You
no.
know where it is.
I know.
I know.
It disappeared. That's why he would need to be looking for it. The wreck of it in space.
Fair. Tarantulas cackles and talks to himself. Good. And now that every event has been resolved, you make it to the Titan's last stand. Which will end the session for tonight.
Cool.
So, we'll go over what that means. 99 minutes, almost exactly 100. But, I was Devin.
Nicole?
Tyler?
Kevin.
And Peter.
And this is sponsored by Nobody. Signing off.